Hello and welcome to Ferns on the Porch. This is Ellie. I have just a brief message for you today, and hopefully it's helpful for you. I don't really know how to categorize it, really. It's just something that I would call one of my shower thoughts. Now, if you're anything like myself, shower time is some of the best time to think, to be quiet, to listen for God's voice, to do some praying, and really just be still. And I've had a lot of times where the Lord has maybe just impressed something on my heart or made a truth known to me or something like that when I'm in the shower, because there's no distractions. You're not looking at thinking about all the things you have to do and stuff like that, and you're just quiet. So one of my shower thoughts that I had, it's probably been a couple years ago now, the Lord just put this on my heart that, when the Israelites crossed the Red Sea, there was no puddles. And I thought, God, what kind of message is that? So I had to look it up because, I didn't believe him. Like, really? Like, is he going to steer me wrong? So I looked it up. Sure enough, Exodus chapter 14, verses 21 and 22. It says, "Then Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and all that night the Lord drove the sea back with a strong east wind and turned it into dry land." It says dry land. "The waters were divided, and the Israelites went through the sea on dry ground, with a wall of water on their right and on their left." Now, I've never really thought specifically about this story. I mean, I grew up in church. I watched the Charlton Heston movie, The Ten Commandments, here years and years ago. So I've heard this story several times, read it several times, and I never really thought about it before. But I'm a very visual learner, visual thinker. So, when I read something or hear something, then, you kind of create a picture in your brain about what that would look like. And I guess I never really thought about it specifically, but thinking about the Israelites crossing over, on dry ground on the Red Sea, I thought, it's like, well, they were probably stepping over some puddles, certainly had to move around some rocks and things like that. But I never really thought specifically about it. But I thought, well, certainly, it was just in the bottom of the sea. It would make sense that there would be puddles, that it would be kind of wet, kind of muddy, it was just at the bottom of the sea, for goodness sakes. But when he laid that impression on my heart, he said, there was no puddles. There's no puddles. So what does that mean for me? What does that mean for my life? What might it mean for you? It means it isn't hard for God to perform a miracle. It's not hard for him. It's not like he has to exert so much. Like, he spoke things into existence with his voice. And certainly God does work, but I don't think that it's hard for God to do anything. So what that would mean for my life, or for your life, if you're waiting for some kind of miracle or some kind of miraculous, some kind of answer from God about something, I would just encourage you to pray for your dry ground. There's a path somehow that he has for you, that he has for me, and there's no puddles. There's no stuff that you have to dodge, like, well, I took care of all this, but this right here, I couldn't quite get this taken care of, so you got to worry about dodging that particular puddle. Or, your shoes are going to get kind of muddy because I couldn't quite take care of that ground for you. If God is going to remove something from your life, don't you think he could do it all? He's God. He's bigger than me. He's bigger than I can understand. So I would just encourage you to pray for your dry ground, and just remember, when God performs a miracle, especially like this, he doesn't leave anything undone. So hopefully that's encouraging for you today, and you got something out of it. Give me a comment or like and share, and we'll see you next time.